Ever feel like you're being watched by the dark screen of your phone or computer? Like for a split second the reflection shows something extra lurking in the room? The urban legend you're about to hear is a modern creepypasta about a forgotten file, an old program called Watcher.scr. It was created for a simple task, screen protection, but it ended up doing something very different. It started watching who was on the other side of the screen. Get ready for a tech horror story that'll make you want to tape over every camera in your house, crank up the volume, and kill the lights. You know how it is. A rainy Sunday afternoon, boredom oozing from the walls, and that sudden urge to rummage through old stuff. That's exactly how I ended up in my grandparents' attic, a place that reeked of dust, old wood, and forgotten time. And there, under a white sheet that had seen better days, thanks to a few moths, I found it. The family's first computer, a technological dinosaur, a beige tower yellowed with age, and a CRT monitor that felt like it weighed a ton. Driven by a wave of pure nostalgia, I lugged it down to my room, wiped off the dust, and hooked up the cables. The internal fans groaned like a ghost waking from a long slumber. The ancient operating system took forever to load, but it worked. And then, after a few minutes of inactivity, the screen flickered and went dark. And something new started. It wasn't the flying toasters or the 3D maze I remembered. It was a screensaver I had never, ever seen before. The file was called Watcher.scr. On the dark screen, a thin, white line drew a corridor, a single, long corridor. The line moved slowly, giving the impression that you were walking down it. It was hypnotic, but there was something off, unsettling. At the end of the corridor, there was a door, closed. Each time the screensaver activated, the sense of movement seemed a little faster, like I was getting closer to that door each time. The first time, I thought it was curious. The second, I felt a twinge of anxiety. The third time the screen went to sleep and the corridor returned, I had the distinct, the impossible feeling that the doorknob had turned, just a little. Any sane person would have turned off the computer and maybe thrown it out the window, but I didn't. That mystery, that turning doorknob, lodged in my mind like a parasite. Curiosity turned into a morbid obsession. I found myself leaving the computer idle on purpose, just to see the corridor, to see what would happen with the door. And things did happen. With each activation, the approach was clearer. The corridor seemed shorter, the door bigger, more detailed. I started noticing textures on the dark wood, deep scratches near the lock, as if an animal had tried to get out, or in. The brass doorknob, once a simple pixelated circle, now had the dull gleam of real metal, smudged with fingerprints that definitely weren't there before. The sound started on the second night. A low hum, almost inaudible, that wasn't coming from the speakers. It was coming from inside. I tried again, and again, the same message. In a panic, my eyes darted to the screensaver, which had activated itself in the middle of my attempt. The corridor, the door. I was practically on top of it now. I could see the grain of the wood, the dust in the corners, the keyhole. And that's when my blood turned to ice in my veins. That wasn't just any door. That dark wood, the pattern of scratches, the brass doorknob. It was the door to my own bedroom. The door that was creaking right behind me. Time stopped. My breath caught in my throat. a knot of pure ice. My eyes darted from the image on the screen to the real door of my bedroom and back to the screen. They were the same door, the same scratches, the same doorknob, the same keyhole. And then the screensaver moved one last time. The perspective on the screen didn't stop at the door. With a final sickening movement, the vision plunged forward and went through the tiny keyhole. For an instant, I saw the inside of a room, my room. But the image was distorted, the colors wrong. The walls seemed to pulse gently, as if they were breathing. And the perspective was looking out from inside the monitor. I saw my own computer chair, and I saw someone sitting in it. A dark, hunched silhouette, motionless. My silhouette. I was seeing myself on the screen, from behind. The Watcher wasn't me, looking at a door. It was something inside that old computer watching me. Then, everything went black. The CRT monitor popped loudly, released a small cloud of smoke that smelled like burnt plastic, and died. The electrical hum ceased. The room plunged into near total darkness, broken only. The code has been transferred. The entity is no longer trapped in an old dusty computer. Now, it has access to everything. The story ends here, but the terror is just beginning. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave your theory down in the comments. What will this entity do now? And more importantly, what would you do if you were locked in that room? If you survived this tale of terror and want to get that spine-tingling feeling again, smash that like button to support our work and subscribe to the channel, hitting the bell icon. We've got new creepypastas and spooky stories every week. After all, there might be a watcher listening to you right now.